Welcome back to another Officer Tatum show. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Marjorie Taylor Greene being a traitor. Marjorie Taylor Greene, according to Donald Trump. We're going to talk about her. The football scenario. I know y'all wanted to see me talk about that state trooper that bumped into those athletes. I think it's overblown, but we're going to talk about it on the show. Obviously, the woman from DoorDash that claimed she was sexually assaulted, come to find out she ended up getting arrested. And Mike Epps on the Breakfast Club. Welcome to the Tatum Show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning then, you might as well go on today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Like all of my videos that you see. Obviously, our Espanol channel is blowing up. It's crazy. The Espanol channel is doing better than this channel. I'm not going to lie. But I want you to subscribe to all of our channels. If you love the content, if you like the long form, subscribe to The Officer Tatum Show. If you like my short form clips that I've been doing for now 5 or 6 years now, you can subscribe to The Officer Tatum. If you got family members that speak Spanish or Spanish is your first language, you can subscribe to The Officer Tatum Espanol. Now, people got mad at me for saying, we speak Spanish in America. Well, okay. Then keep letting the leftists put propaganda out there. Keep letting them do the Espanol and saying all this crazy stuff to your family members and other people who speak Spanish, or their priority is to speak Spanish. Or you can be smart like me and say, I know there's people out there that speak Spanish primarily. We need to get the truth to these people. It ain't like you're going to stop them. It ain't like you're going to deport every person that speaks Spanish. So you might as well infiltrate in their environment and allow them to hear what the truth is about Trump and about politics that they're not getting from what is that channel? I almost said El Septimo. That's a cigar line. They're not getting it from Telemundo. They're not getting it from Telemundo. But let's talk about Donald Trump real quick. I want to get to, and then I'm going to get to Marjorie Taylor Greene, because Donald Trump has now come out and said that he wants them to take the Epstein files to a vote. And now people are mad about that. I don't know what's going on with Epstein. Nobody does, bruh. Everybody's acting like they know something that they really don't know. I don't know what the truth with Epstein is. I'm open to any theory. Was he a Mossad agent? Was he working with the CIA? I don't know. And I think everybody that's in this should say, none of us really know. But people are claiming that they know, and then they're feeding off of a claim, meaning that they are upset about something that they don't know if it's true or not. Because it's bizarre how everybody in government is dealing with this. Because Epstein was investigated and arrested under Donald Trump, his first term. A Donald Trump FBI, investigated and arrested. He was also investigated under the Democrat Barack Obama. So he's investigated under Barack Obama, investigated and arrested under Donald Trump. He killed himself under Trump, I believe. And then we got, or somebody killed him, whatever the case may be. And then we got 4 years of Democrats where they don't even bring up Epstein whatsoever. Then you have Republicans night and day saying that there's so much there. Republicans get into office, and then they're saying there's nothing there. And then the Republicans are saying, we're going to release everything, and then they retracted it. And then the Democrats who never talked about Epstein is now saying Epstein files need to be released. Am I the only one, or we are like everybody's going crazy about this? Do I think that Donald Trump now saying that he wants them to go to a vote like that's going to do anything? No, I don't. I was a cop. When I was a PIO, I found out what they do in the records department. And I'm being honest. Like, if they don't want it out, they can say within reason that it's still under investigation. They can redact everything. When I was on the police department, we used to do the same thing. 99.9% of the stuff that we talked about, obviously, we were doing it like we were supposed to, but there's some stuff that people didn't want to get out. And so they just say it's under investigation. And therefore, you can't get the content and information. It happened. It was rare, but it happened. They'll prolong something until they can get ahead of it. I know for a fact it has to happen to some degree. Do I think the federal government is doing that? Potentially. Now, if I had to be forced into a hypothesis, what would my hypothesis be? I just think that people are willing to, there's some embarrassing things from people. I think there could be people implicated that probably shouldn't be implicated. There's people that will be implicated that are implicated. But I think that it's not worth the squeeze for most people in the government. And then, because people are not going to be satisfied anyway. Because if it comes out and it's not what you thought it was, people are going to say they deleted and erased information and whatever. If it comes out and was everything you thought it was, are people going to be willing to give people the reason, I would say reasonable doubt, but give people a little grace that a person is innocent until fully proven to be guilty? Nobody's going to do that. So they're going to probably throw people on the bus that may not even be guilty or something. All of it is just minutia to me. I do want people to be held accountable if they were dealing in people and assaulted people. I don't care what position you're in. Even if Donald Trump did it, I hope he go to jail. If he did something to a kid. Now, of course, I don't think he did it because they would have been blasting him in the last election, during the last election. But if you were a person that have done something nefarious to a kid or something like that, you deserve to go to jail. I don't care who you are. But anyway, let's get to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, the whole argument with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson and everybody else that's out there, it's honestly Israel. It comes down to Israel. It comes down to Israel derangement syndrome. When you start going to where Israel is every day a part of your life, meaning that you feel like Israel and the Jews are responsible for everything in life, then you begin to develop a mind virus. And then that mind virus leads you to saying that they're responsible for everything and everything you see has got to be Israel on it. And then you begin to fall off a cliff. And everybody that's fallen off the cliff, they start with the Israel thing for some reason. We're Americans, right? Israel shouldn't even be a conversation for us in America. It shouldn't be. But what happens is people make Israel their whole platform and then they lie. And then people like me, like, that's a lie. Then you lying every day. It's like, I got to defend it every day because I defend against lies every day. All right. But Marjorie Taylor Greene starting with the Israel lies, and then she's devolved to hating Trump over it, and now she's changing her tune. Now she's a different Marjorie Taylor Greene. I did a poll just recently, Nick did the poll just recently on my YouTube channel, and majority of people is on the side of Donald Trump. These people, they come out and they think they stuff don't stink. And then they piggyback off of Donald Trump's success and they think, oh, I'm good now. I can say screw this guy and all the people going to follow me now. You guys are living a fantasy. MAGA, Make America Great Again, will always be bigger than America First movement. It will always be bigger, always more robust. Most of the people that love Trump, all the hundreds of millions of people that voted for him over the years, they ain't on social media like y'all think they are. It's not the world is not social media. Let's get to Marjorie Taylor Greene apologizing on CNN for who she was, I guess. Roll the clip.
You posted on X that President Trump is, with his comments, fueling a, quote, hotbed of threats against you. Obviously, any threats to your safety are completely unacceptable. But we have seen these kinds of attacks or criticism from the president at other people. It's not new. And with respect, I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism. And I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country. And it's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, is that I'm only responsible for myself and my own words and actions. And I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another, and we need to figure out a new path forward that is focused on the American people, because as Americans, no matter what side of the aisle we're on, we have far more in common than we have differences. Yeah. And we need to be able to respect each other with our disagreements.
So just to put a button on this, you regret the things that you have said and posted in the past, the Facebook post that was taken down of you in 2020 holding a gun alongside the squad, encouraging people to go on the offense against the socialists, liking a tweet of somebody calling for the execution of Nancy Pelosi and former President Obama, just examples?
Well, Dana, as you know, and many people know, I addressed that back in 2021. And of course, I never want to cause any harm or anything bad for anyone. So that was addressed back then, and I very much stand by my words I said then, and I stand by my words today. I think America needs to come together and end all the toxic, dangerous rhetoric and divide. And I'm leading the way with my own example, and I hope that President Trump can do the same.
These people are so fake, man. It's crazy. I would have never liked a post of that Marjorie Taylor Greene said or did that was like that. Threatening somebody's life, saying we need to. She was so radical. I didn't like her being as radical as she was, even then. But then all of a sudden you change your tune. No, it's political. You're losing politically. And now you want to say, we need to come together. Come together with who? These people hate us. They hate Donald Trump. They hated her, and they're going to still hate you. But then these people that are fake, that never was real people in the beginning, they flip-flop. I got a whole highlight tape of her. They flip-flop, y'all. They're not serious. All right, let's go to the clip with Tucker. 102. Clip 102.
The whole propaganda machine that has been spoon-fed to Christians, whether it's in the pews at church or Bible study, or coming through the television or through their politicians' mouths, that we have to do everything for Israel. That's the only way we're going to go to heaven. America will be cursed if we don't. That whole lie is breaking apart. And thank God it is, because I, as a Christian, you as a Christian, we know there's only one way, and it's through Jesus Christ. He is our Savior. He died on a cross for us. He rose from the dead in 3 days. He is the one and only living Son of God, and he is seated at the right hand of the Father. And he's going to come again one day to judge the living and the dead. And that is the way you go to heaven. And that is the truth. And that is the light. And that is the only way that we should think and believe. And it doesn't come to bowing down to Israel, the government of Israel, or the military of Israel, or any politician. And the shaming.
I can't listen anymore. But this is just an example. I just wanted to play this example. You see how radical she is? I don't know nobody that said we need to bow down to the government of Israel. Like, what the are we talking about? Nobody's running Donald Trump. Nobody. But this is the stuff that she's spewing. And they talking about, as Christians, what Bible verse did you use when you brought up Israel? You're saying Jesus Christ is the only way. Duh. Jesus Christ was a Jew. Do you not remember that? Jesus Christ is the only way. There's only one Son of God. Yeah, all true. But that Son of God was a Jew. And he practiced Judaism. And he kept the Sabbath. And he followed the Torah. What are you saying? These people are so caught up in hating Jews and Israel that they can't even see that our Lord and Savior was a Jew. That was a Zionist. If Jesus was alive today, he'd be a Zionist. Why? Because he followed the Torah. And the promises of God to Abraham is forever. And so that's the word. These are the words that Jesus was reading. Jesus wasn't reading the New Testament. He wasn't reading Paul. This is what Paul said. What are y'all talking about? But that's just one more thing that this is why, and then she gets mad at Trump because Trump called her a traitor. But she's saying that Trump is a traitor. She's saying that Trump is guilty of treason. If you're an American president and you put the priorities and interests of another country before America, that's treason. You're accusing him of committing treason. All right, I got more. Come on. Let's go to 103.
As a conservative,
and as a business owner in the construction industry, and as a realist, I can say we have to do something about labor, and that needs to be a smarter plan than just rounding up every single person and deporting them just like that.
Right.
So, and I'm going to get pushback on that, but I'm just living in reality from here on out.
Yeah.
And if
From here on out.
if anybody's mad at me for saying the truth, then I'm sorry.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, ladies and gentlemen, our next president. Sorry, JD Vance.
This guy's a nut. All right, I'm
well, I
done
mean,
with
there's
that.
people
Who
saying
is this guy? Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon. I don't know all of his work, but this is stupid. Marjorie Taylor Greene, next president. He had to be joking. I wouldn't even joke with Marjorie Taylor Greene like that because she can't even be the governor of Georgia. She'll never be the president. But you see what she's saying right there? Well, I'm just going to be, from now on, I'm going to do right. So you were tricking everybody and playing the game, and now you're going to tell the truth? Well, you know, you would think that somebody say, I'm America first, I'm America only. They lying to you. They don't believe that sugar, honey, iced tea. Because why you say, we can just round up everybody and deport them? You should be saying, if you're America first, round them all up and let the Americans have those jobs. Let American citizens have the jobs. But she's worried about her own best interest in her company. I'm in the construction industry. If you weren't in the construction industry, would you care? No. Now all of a sudden she's trying to rebrand herself because she was so polarizing in the beginning, and now she's want to rebrand so she can be a little moderate so she can win races in the state of Georgia. It's all a farce, man. Let's bring the next clip of this. I want to call her a B. I'm not. This is her flip-flopping. Roll the clip.
There is an Islamic invasion into our government offices right now.
Ilhan Omar doesn't deserve committees. She absolutely does not deserve committees.
A woman out of Minnesota, now she's going into Congress and she's got to wear a head covering.
So that she can represent radical Islam in the United States Congress. And that we need to hold accountable. That right there, we've had enough of it. President Joe Biden is being pushed around by the jihad squad. So members of Congress are supporting.
I stand with Israel. She got the Star of David on this thing. She's speaking behind this podium. Do y'all not find this to be interesting? You can never say, don't you ever say that Marjorie Taylor Greene is consistent and Brandon, you the one changed. She the one standing in front of the Star of David. Back then when it was popular to be like that. Why y'all can't see these people flip-flop with the wind? When it's popular to support Israel, that's what they do. When it's unpopular, they swing on this one. And then when it's unpopular to be on the side of Donald Trump because people are mad at Epstein and Israel, now they act like they don't like him no more. And when it's popular, they swinging like this. It's like the woman, the promiscuous woman that they say be swinging from you know what to you know what. When this guy's popular now, he just started running back. Now she over there want to date him. Then when this guy is popular now that guy hurt his leg and now she want to be on his. That's what these politicians do, y'all. You would think with all the stuff Marjorie Taylor Greene has said about Israel, you've been in Congress. You know how much they give in AIPAC. AIPAC is influencing. At least you should have. And all of a sudden you were cooled in and you're not. All right, roll the clip.
Terrorists, Hamas terrorists that are bombing Israel.
You know, they want to put their hand on the Quran and be sworn in. No.
You know, we're going to explain about how you
Quran?
can't swear in on the Quran. And we're
You
going
mean
to have
like
the
a
Bible
crayon?
and ask them if they would swear in
Swear in
on the Bible.
And yes, it is an invasion. That's what happened. Obama opened up our borders to an invasion by Muslims. They did the same stupid thing in Europe.
In Europe, there are no-go zones with high crime statistics. As a matter of fact, rape is a modern occurrence that happens all the time in these no-go zones. They're claiming it's Islamophobic because Muslim men rape them, and that becomes part of the conversation.
I'm an American woman, and I have all the freedoms in the world to never have to bow to a religion that would force me to cover my body up and only see my eyes and my fingertips. And that is a major threat for all American women. And I think that's something that hits hard for all women.
Anyone that is a Muslim that believes in Sharia law does not belong in our government.
Well, the bottom line is Sharia law is not compatible with America.
Yep.
That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line. Sharia law is the most brutal. It is a horrible, horrible law. They brutalize women. They throw gay people off of buildings. It is not a place for justice. No. This is a place where the men over there, they can have sex with anybody they want. They have sex with little boys, little girls, multiple women. They marry as many women as they want. They marry their sisters, their cousins.
A Muslim takeover or possibly Sharia law. That is a great threat to every single American woman. And I'll maintain my right to say that I think Sharia law and women being forced to wear burqas is the greatest threat to our freedoms as American women. I am 100% opposed.
All right. Hey, we're going to continue, but I just want you to are you listening? Listen what she said in 2017-ish and how she, in 2025 and how she began to change. Because it used to be Islam was the biggest threat. And I haven't watched this full clip, but I think that's what they're going to get to. It used to be Islam was the biggest threat. Burqas and all this, which to me is an honest take. They killing people out of 9/11, you name it. But then it changed. Roll it.
To Sharia law in America. 100% unapologetically opposed to Sharia law in America.
I got to speak with Marjorie Taylor Greene tonight, and I asked her one of the things I was worried about, which is all this Sharia law Muslim concern I see on X.
Oh, no, my constituents talk about the same problems that plague you and everyone on this call. I've never been to a town hall. I've never been asked about Sharia law at a town hall. I just haven't. I will tell you, I do think there's a paid social media influencer campaign going on X.
If you want Islam and Sharia law, you stay over there in the Middle East. You stay there and go to Mecca and do all your thing. And you know what? You can have a whole bunch of wives or goats or sheep or whatever you want. You stay over there. But in America, see, we made it this great, great country. We don't want it messed up.
But I think it's a lot mostly on X, and I think it is paid, and it's probably coming from Israel or AIPAC donors.
Y'all see what I'm saying? Some of y'all get it that don't hate me. You get it. Like, why would you say for so many years that the jihadist stuff is a problem, which most people would agree, and then all of a sudden you're saying that the stuff that we're hearing now, and this is years later, it's gotten worse. And the stuff, look at what they've done in some of our American cities. What are you talking about? It's gotten worse, bro. And now you're saying it's propaganda online. You've never had a constituency talk about. Then why were you talking about it so much? Your constituency wasn't. Oh, but it's probably coming from Israel. Now, I'm telling you guys, please listen to me, people. I don't know if God is giving me some wisdom or I'm just thinking I got wisdom. I don't know. But I feel like, why is everybody not seeing this? Tucker says the same thing now. We played a video of him not too long ago, and even my wife got mad. She's like, but that's from a long time ago. But I'm like, the problem is that he was accusing people of anti-Semitism. And now he's saying Sharia law isn't even really a big deal. He used to say Muslims were the greatest threat, just like Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying. And now Israel is the biggest threat in America. All right, let's keep going. We got some more stuff about what Donald Trump had to say about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Wrote a clip.
Her life could be in danger because of the rhetoric.
Her life is in danger? Who's that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, she says.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think her life is in danger. Frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her.
He ruthless, bro. He is ruthless. You get on the wrong side of Trump, man. Nobody care about you no more. Roll the clip.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is a big ally of yours, said that she would rather see you focused on nonstop domestic policy meetings here at the White House instead of nonstop foreign policy meetings. What's your response to her saying that, and also saying that grocery prices are up and not down, as you've said?
Yeah, so I don't know what happened to Marjorie. She's a nice woman, but I don't know what happened. She's lost her way, I think. But I have to view the presidency as a worldwide situation, not locally. I mean, we could have a world that's on fire where wars come to our shores very easily if you had a bad president. But with all of that, I passed a great, big, beautiful bill, which is the biggest tax cuts in the history of our country. So when somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's now catering to the other side, I don't know what, I guess she's, got some kind of an act going, but I'm surprised at her. But when somebody like Marjorie goes over and starts making statements like that, it shows she doesn't know. But so when somebody makes a statement about he's devoting time to the world, well, the world is the United States, because if the world's in trouble or if the world is ripping us off, the world was ripping us off before I came here. Europe was getting massive tariffs. They were sending us 9-10 million cars a year. We were sending them none. They were not taking our agriculture. We were taking massive amounts of their. It was so unfair. Now we have a deal where $950 billion is coming into the United States because of me and because of tariffs.
Now, just another little segue, and then we're going to get to the crux of it. But, we're going to get to the end of this because I don't want to belabor the point. But this is why Marjorie Taylor Greene is a hack. Donald Trump has done a lot of great things. He haven't, I was just on Piers Morgan with Shank and them or whatever, Jank or whatever his name is. I call him Shank. But these people are saying that Donald Trump, oh, look what he's doing. He didn't fulfill his promises. Donald Trump had high aspirations, and he's given an attempt to do all the things that he said he was going to do. It's not that simple. It's not that easy, because you say, I'm going to end the war in Ukraine. But then when you get here, they doing something crazy, and then they say they're going to stop, and they don't. He said, I'm going to end the war in Israel. And for the most part, they signed a peace deal. But nobody give him credit for that. Look at the wars we haven't gotten into. And they say, we're going to get in a war with Venezuela. That's not a war. Unless you guys are smoking crack, that's not a war. It's boom, boom, bow, and it's over. They have no capability of doing anything to the United States of America. It's like when you say, I slapped this guy, I won't even ball my fist. That's the equivalent of America and Venezuela. We will slap them and when we put boots on the ground. We'll get rid of these people. It'll be completely over. Getting us into another war. It's all BS. Let's get to Scott Jennings, and then AOC. I should have teased that a little bit. AOC is going to tell the real reason why Marjorie Taylor Greene is acting like this, to be honest. But we'll get to Scott Jennings, then we'll get to Marjorie Taylor Greene roll a clip. We'll get to AOC roll a clip.
With that political engagement, when they sent her that poll, that's when you start to see everything change. She opposed the president on his Middle East policy, attacking the Houthi rebels, attacking Iran. She's opposed the president on deportations this summer. So she has sort of become a policy opponent of the president, but I think it really all started with that political engagement, and now she's one of his most frequent critics on some of what I would argue has been his biggest successes this year. And if you want to count yourself as an ally of the President of the United States, it's not great to go out and run out to The View and other places and crap on him 24 hours a day. That's essentially what she's become. It's a well-worn path. A lot of other Republicans who've turned on the president have done that too.
All right. Now, unfortunately, I never like anything AOC say, but Donald Trump has said this before. We don't have a clip right now, but Donald Trump has said this in a clip of why Marjorie Taylor Greene is mad. But look at what AOC. See, when you women be snitching on each other. This is why Real Housewives and stuff is so popular. My mom was watching some show. These women just rich and just shaming each other. I don't know why women like watching this stuff. But anyway, pull up AOC. AOC will spill the tea because these women ain't loyal to one another. Roll the clip.
Here's some tea for you. MTG, people are like, oh my God, she's saying all of these things. What's gotten into her lately? Oh, she's bucking against Trump. She's bucking against the administration. Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted to run for Senate in Georgia. She wanted to run for Senate earlier this year in the state of Georgia. She wanted to be the Republican nominee for Senate. So she was gearing up for that statewide race, and Trump told her no. Trump said no. And the White House and Trump land shut down Marjorie Taylor Greene's personal ambitions to run for Senate. And she has been on a revenge tour ever since.
Now, do y'all believe that? I believe it. I believe it. That's why Donald Trump said I'm withdrawing my endorsement to her. I hope somebody primary her, to be honest. I will come out and campaign if it's a good candidate, right? Because as much as I don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene, you got to be better than her, okay? If you worse than her, even though I don't like her, I would rather her be in there than somebody else. But I'm gonna look at Georgia's field and say, who's primarying Marjorie Taylor Greene? I want to go out and support you. I'll campaign with you. I want Marjorie Taylor Greene out of there. And it's not even the loyalty to Trump. It's just how bizarre she is and how flip-flop she is. And y'all saw all the clips of that. Let's get to the next story, the football versus the cop, the football player versus the cop thing. Let's pull it up because this happened over the weekend. I wanted to talk about it, but I didn't want Nick to have to get off the couch and put his beers down and do it and come to the office to record this. No, I'm playing. Nick don't drink beer. He drink whiskey. So I didn't want him to have to put his fifth of vodka down and not be able to. Where did you go to watch the game, Nick? Can you tell me or no? Oh, I thought you went to that one place that start with twins. He don't want Twin Peaks. Nah, he didn't go there. He'll never go there. He's a good Christian Catholic. So anyway, I didn't want to stop him from watching the game and come up here and record this. So, but first thing that I thought when I saw this, I'm like, why is this such a crazy big deal? Why is this such a big deal? I bet you, I mean, back when I played ball, this would have never even made the news. Nobody would have really cared. And let's play the clip. And I'm not saying that the officer was right. I'm just saying nobody would care. But let's play the clip because this is the full story about what happened. This is more context. Everybody watch that little clip. They see them bump into each other and everybody's going crazy. But watch the full concept, a context, what part of the game this happened at, the fact that this is at A&M Stadium, which I got history with A&M Stadium. I'm going to tell you why this probably happened. Roll the clip.
Sox play it conservatively here. Sellers flipping it across the middle for a first down. Harbor's got great speed. The track star is free. Inside the 30. Inside the 10. Into the end zone. Touchdown, South Carolina. Nick Harbor holding his leg, and he continues into the tunnel after he outruns defenders for an 80-yard touchdown to make it 26-3.
Time out. Pause it. Now, let's put this in perspective real quick. A&M is getting their handed to them at this point in the game. They came back and won. The biggest comeback in A&M history, actually. But they're getting whooped in this game. This guy just scored a crazy touchdown, which they're dogging them out. This looked like this is going to be the biggest blowout. Well, no. Oklahoma beat A&M back when I was playing 77-0. But it's almost going to be the second biggest blowout in college history. A&M is a school with a lot of pride. You don't go into A&M Stadium and disrespect the Aggies. You just don't do it. I don't know if we have that article or not, but we'll post it or put it out there at some point. But I remember when my brother was getting recruited by A&M, I just tagged along with him in 2002 or 2002, 2003. We're at the game. Nebraska beat A&M. Anybody that know anything about football in College Station know that people can't leave the game until it's over. You don't leave if they're losing, and you cannot rush the field. They said, do not rush the field because A&M believe their field is sacred. Nobody can get on that field and do nothing nefarious. They rushed it. People would get knocked unconscious. I saw it with my own eyes. ROTC came out on the field, and they were knocking people unconscious. And then people began to run back into the stadium. Go research and look it up yourself. You think I'm lying. People have reported about it. I was physically there. This was before cell phones. If it was cell phones, everybody would have had it on camera. People face down at the stadium. And so, to frame this, do you think the state troopers in the state of Texas are going to be friendly with the opposing team that just scored another touchdown, and now they all up in the tunnel celebrating? So he has to go in the tunnel and tell them, get out of the tunnel. Roll the clip.
That is track speed from the big man.
That's all that was. He's saying he got to go in there and tell them to get out the tunnel. Let's play it back because people need to pay attention to this stuff. Think about this for a minute. The trooper wasn't the bumping that was even the issue. People that didn't understand when this happened during the game, they think that the players were coming out, and I thought it at first, that the players were coming out at halftime, which means that the trooper is trying to go in while they're coming out, which would be incredibly bizarre to do. And he bumps into him and he gets mad at him. That's not what happened. They celebrated in the tunnel. The state troopers tell them to get out of the tunnel. If you watch it, it's not about the bumping part. The trooper is not mad at him because they bumped into him. Because if you watch it, the trooper actually bumped into the guy on the left. He didn't even really touch number 4. But what he was doing was yelling at them to get out of the tunnel because they shouldn't have been celebrating in the tunnel, which is probably what he perceived. Roll the clip. Watch it.
Leg, and he continues into the tunnel after he outruns defenders for an 80-yard touchdown to make it 26-3.
Watch it. Who he bumping to more, 27-8?
That is track speed from the big man, Nick Harbor. No shots of anybody catching him.
Should the deputy have done, the trooper have done that? It's a little excessive, right? But all he was doing, probably mad at them winning the game. He's A&M, and this guy's in the tunnel celebrating. Now he had to go in there and tell him to get out of the tunnel. So he intentionally, in my opinion, bumped into him and said, get out the tunnel. It wasn't that he was going somewhere and they inadvertently bumped into each other and then he's cussing at the kid. That's not what happened. Now you can be mad at the trooper for doing that. I understand it's football. I understand you in the state of Texas. I understand the Aggies the culture there, they ain't playing with you. That's how I see it. And it's a nothing burger. It's football, it's Aggie land, and you whooping them. And the person that's working the game bumps into you until you get out the tunnel. And it's the SEC. You put it all together. It's all in the football realm. When I was playing, nobody would have cared. But because of the backlash, because a white trooper bumped into a black player, everybody is just open arms. This is what it said. I'll read it. And this is from Texas DPS, the state troopers. It says Texas Department of Public Safety is aware of the incident that occurred today during the Texas A&M football game. The DPS trooper involved was sent home from the game. Our Office of Inspector General is also aware of the incident and will be further looking into the matter. No additional information will be released at this time. And then it looks like the Texas A&M police, which is the college police, which I can't see. It says, we are aware of the incident. I can't see it. Something about DPS trooper. I don't know if I can scroll it up a little bit. Let me look aside the camera. Yeah, it's just it pretty much just says he has been relieved of his assignment. That's all it says. He's been relieved of his assignment. I guarantee you, the A&M on the inside, the A&M players don't care. A&M fans don't care. The A&M coach really don't care. I can almost bet you. But the controversy with the black and the white thing is the reason why everybody's talking about it. I think Stephen A. Smith came out and talked about it. I don't know what he said about it. LeBron James put his little nasty head in there to talk about it. LeBron wouldn't say nothing if it was on a white player. Nobody would even be talking about this. It's just football, man. I don't think that guy should get in trouble. I think that obviously if I was the police chief or the trooper, whatever, who's the head of the state troopers, the director or whatever they call the deputy, I don't know how they call the troopers, but if I was him, I'd be like, I get it, bro. You did it in public. There's backlash. I'll write you up. Write you up. They call it PPR or something like that, which is a warning. It don't even go on your personal profile. I acknowledge that I shouldn't have let my temper get the better, and I wrote it up like that. Look, don't do that again, bro. You embarrassing everybody. You can't do that. I know we know how I go, but we live in a different age, all right? You got it? Okay, we done. You can work the game again. Nobody even know who you are. Just go on back out there. Just don't bump into people no more, even if you mad. That's it. If I was a head coach on a football team, them guys, we in their stadium, they acting a fool is what it is what it is. How do you talk? You beat them on the football field. But unfortunately, we lost. So if you want to get mad at the trooper, you should have beat the team, and then you could have been like, see, F y'all. Now they mad because they came back and beat him. All right, let's get to the DoorDash girl. And then we're going to get to Mike Epps and then Thomas Crook, which I know a lot of you guys want to talk about Thomas Crook. DoorDash girl, as soon as she did it, y'all got to think. Let's put this in perspective. Now she's arrested. As soon as I saw this video, she came out, she got this dude laying on the couch, said she was sexually assaulted by him. Now, I took it as, and I was wrong, but she also didn't clarify and make any point because she exaggerated it. I thought that she was door dashing and the guy pulled her in, did his business. He went to sleep on the couch and she's walking out being like, look, I just got assaulted by this guy. That's messed up. All I was doing was delivering, right? When you say sexual assault, there's a physical element to it, right? When you say sexual assault, and most people would think that there is somebody touched you inappropriately, somebody took advantage of you inappropriately. You don't think you door dashing and the guy is passed out on his couch that somehow you got assaulted by him. He's asleep. He don't know what's going on. I knew it was bull shenanigans, but she got arrested, and that's what she get. And I'm gonna tell you why she got arrested right here in a minute. But let's go to the original posts that she put out. 303. Let's start with 303, and then we're gonna get to her charges, and they were felony charges. Roll the clip.
That's fucked up. Hey guys, so DoorDash just deactivated me 2 days after I reported my sexual assault. Hey guys, I just lost my job, and they won't tell me why. They're supposed to send an email immediately after deactivation providing you the reason why and a link to appeal, and they didn't. So I contacted support, and they made me sit on the phone with them for 50 minutes just to tell me that they can't tell me the reason why, and I have to just go ahead and appeal without knowing why. So my chances of getting my account back, they have my money in that account. I was working! I was literally working! And they deactivated me! This is related. They just punished me for posting about my sexual assault while door dashing. They just fired me! And the police are doing nothing! I lost my job! And that was my only way to make money to pay my bills!
Keep her face on there. Keep the face on there. Keep the face on there. Them eyebrows is crazy. This is why she crazy. Listen, y'all. She said sexual assault. She really put the blame on this guy who's passed out in his house. If anything, you assaulted him. If he told you, leave the thing by the door. Think about this, y'all. Come on, let's put it in perspective. Who would have done what she did? Somebody say, first of all, this is why men and women are different. Tell me I'm not. If I was door dashing and a woman was naked on the couch and I'm dropping off food, not me now because I'm a good Christian man. I would never do anything like that. I would knock on the door and be like, hey, get up. You exposed out here. Somebody going to come and rape you. So if I saw it before I was a Christian, I'd have been like, oh, crap, dang. I see your mama. And I'd be out, drop the food off and leave. I got a good glimpse. I'm out of there. I wouldn't say I got sexual assaulted. You know what I'm saying? God dang. Most people wouldn't say that. They'd be like, oh, man, homeboy must have passed out because he was probably drunk. You think he wants you to see the wee-wee or something? How you going to see the wee-wee and he passed out? Now, if the man came to the door, hey, and pulled in his thing is hanging out, and he see you, you see him, he gets something out of that, I say it's different. She going to the man's house with, and she probably pulled the door open. DoorDash responded. I'm going to read it till I get to a certain point, and then I'm not going to read anymore because it's completely stupid. Okay? It says, no one should ever, do we have the photo of it? I'll read it to you because it's kind of small. So it says, no one should ever have to experience sexual assault, harassment, or abuse, and DoorDash never deactivated someone for reporting it, full stop. Okay, that's it. I don't have to read. No more of the statement I'm going to read. When a professional say full stop, what is that? What does that mean? Some millennial or some Gen Xer or whatever you call it, Gen Zer out here saying full stop in an official document. You gotta be silly. I'll just go ahead and read it, all right? Full stop. We take these reports incredibly serious and work closely with law enforcement to investigate and support those affected. In this case, the Dasher let us know about the experience that made them feel uncomfortable or unsafe, and that's exactly what we always want Dashers to do. Our team immediately began investigating and has been in direct contact with law enforcement and is prepared to fully support any of their efforts. However, posting a video of a customer in their home and disclosing their personal details publicly is a clear violation of our policies. That is the sole reason that this Dasher's account was deactivated, along with the customers, while we investigated. We've also ensured that the Dasher has full access to their earnings. Okay? We know these are sensitive situations, and we want every Dasher to know if you ever feel unsafe or experience something concerning, come to us. We're here to listen, act, and support. Now, think about this for a minute. These people have lawyers out the wazoo, and they probably put in front of a corporate lawyer, this young lady is claiming this. I bet you the Dasher reported her because he like, look, I was in my own home and this woman filmed me and put me on the internet. So once they got to the lawyers and they looked up the statute, they realized it was a crime. It's a felony crime to do what she did. Now I have the legal document here. Yeah, we'll go to this one real quick so you can see it, and then I'm gonna pull up my computer. We'll take my computer and then I'll show the legal document. But this one, it shows right here, it's PL. I think that should be penal law. I hate the way all states do it. Ours is called, what was it, Arizona Revised Statute. So ours is called Revised Statute. In Texas, it's called a penal code. This one's called penal law, or whatever it can be. So that's why it says PL 250.60. So the first one is arrested charge. I think it's dissemination of surveillance images. And then the other one is a charge of unlawful surveilling. Okay. So one charge is for her taking the photo of him, and then the other one is disseminating the image. So she shouldn't have access to the photo of him in her personal phone in the first place. And she also shouldn't disseminate it to the internet. Now, to be honest, the statute is very ambiguous when it comes to this. Because if you look at it, see if I can zoom in a little bit. When you look at it, let me read it for you guys real quick. Okay, this is the charge she was charged with, which was her second charge, which is unlawful surveillance in the second degree. A person is guilty of unlawful surveillance in the second degree when, if his or her own or another person, for their amusement, entertainment, or profit, or for the purpose of degrading or abusing a person, he or she intentionally uses or installs. See, this is where it gets confusing, right? He or she intentionally uses or installs or permits to utilization or installation of an imaging device. So this is the installation of an imaging device. I don't know how they would do that. Surreptitiously view, broadcast, or record a person dressing or undressing, or the sexual or other intimate parts of such person at a place or time when such person has a reasonable expectation of privacy without such person knowledge or consent. The only part that throws me off about this statute is the part where it says something about, and I could be reading it wrong, is that he or she uses or installs or permits utilization or installation of an image device to surreptitiously view. Now, maybe the super legal jargon can also include a cell phone. Maybe this statute was written a very long time ago and they did not upgrade it to indicate that it's a cell phone. Maybe there's case law that implicates that a cell phone is considered to be this device. All right, perfect. Let's get to Mike Epps before we get to Thomas Crook. Mike Epps goes on to the Breakfast Club, and Mike Epps has been my favorite comedian. Like, literally, he's the funniest comedian out there, in my personal opinion, or at least top 5. But Mike Epps keeps it real on the Breakfast Club with saying that some of these people don't need SNAP. And I feel like he did it in a joking way that's also rooted in truth and facts. Roll the clip.
Always loving God and keeping the faith. That's why I told people when these food stamps and stuff get cut off, don't worry about that. See, black people, we've been getting our shit cut off. We've been getting our doors kicked in and stuff. This is not for us. So don't take this as personal about the food stamps and all that. I'm actually glad they cutting some of these niggas off food stamps because some of us need to not be on food stamps because it's a trickle-down effect. You get the food stamps, then you go buy the food that give you cancer. Then you eat the food that give you cancer. Then you're sad. You walking around here upset. Your diet's fucked up. Now I'm going to tell you some honest God truth. Your diet then sent a lot of niggas to prison.
Explain.
They're going to take all of this and put it on Fox News.
Yeah.
And it's going to say, Mike Epps says, you don't need to be on food stamps.
You think so?
Yeah.
And you're going to go viral, and they're going to call you MAGA Mike.
MAGA Mike is cool.
You got to finish your joke now.
Listen, brothers and sisters.
Listen, brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters! You don't know what this world is coming to? No, listen to this. No, they can't say that about me. See, that's one thing about me, little Boosie badass. We can't be canceled.
No, y'all can't be canceled, but I'm just telling you the internet going to be mad. DL Hughley repost you and say,
about you, internet. Chaz. And everybody out there that think they want to be mad and say so, f you, man.
And I'm going to text you, I'm going to say, Mike, your elders is after you.
Mike Epps, ladies and gentlemen.
So let's talk about this for a minute. Mike Epps, through jokes, like most comedians, they actually have factual things that they're trying to say through the form of entertainment and jokes. What he said was 1,000% true. The kick door and stuff, I mean, I don't buy into that narrative now. I mean, maybe back in the day. But when you talk about food stamps, a lot of black people have been on these government assistance programs, and who is suffering from diabetes and overweight and obesity more than any other group of people in the United States of America? What? Black people. Why is that? And when you look at the poor white people that are on food stamps, they are the ones that suffer from obesity more than anybody else. Black people just happen to be per capita more of a representation. And then Southern, the way people live in the South, the way people eat and cook in the South, that contributes to it as well. It's not just a poor thing too. It's just the type of stuff people eat. When I was growing up, you eating gumbo and our gumbo was, we eat gumbo, but that's more of a Louisiana thing. But in Texas, barbecuing out of control, fish fries, soul food, greens, grandma and them making that sweet potato. My grandma used to put marshmallows in that sweet potato pie. And she used to make that sweet potato pie. And my favorite dish, and if I still lived in Texas, I'd be 400 pounds. Grandma used to make them beans and cornbread. And I didn't even put the beans in there. Grandma used to make butter beans with the neck bone in it. And she put some bacon in it. Or she cooked the thing with the turkey necks in it. Have y'all ever had turkey neck? Bro, turkey neck. All right, so she put the turkey necks in it. She'll cook the butter beans with the turkey neck. I just had grandma give me I can't think of what I just said. Cornbread. I poured the butter bean juice over the cornbread and mixed it up like that with the turkey neck on the side. I could eat that every day of my life. I could eat it every day of my life, bro. There ain't nothing like beans and cornbread. And we ain't gonna even talk about chitlins. Have y'all ever had chitlins? The official name is chitterlings. We call them chitlins. It's pig intestines. And they good, but they stink. Smell like a butthole, obviously, because it's intestines. But if you clean them right, which you clean them outside, you don't clean them in the house, because your house will be smelling like a butt and bad breath all day. So you clean them outside. They straight flip them inside out. I don't know what auntie and them used to do with them. I know they used to take them in that bucket. They flip them inside out. They clean them up, put it in the sink, do some more cleaning, and then they cook them. And they still stink. But you put that hot sauce on them. I ate so many chitlins one time I got a headache. That's when I realized, like, I see why people don't eat pork like that. I ate so much, I started getting a headache. That pork could give you a headache. Anyway, but Mike Epps is telling the truth. Like, why aren't black folks and people who are representing black people in their district advocating that at least if you're on food stamps, they give you better food? Lucky Charms, Captain Crunch. Back when I was a kid, they used to have King Crunch. Y'all remember King Crunch? They used to be at the bottom, on the bottom rack. Them big bag. You get King Crunch. You get a bag like this for the little Captain Crunch bag. They had fake Lucky Charms and everything. They had all the fake cereal at the bottom. Run it up. We got 4-5 bags we put in the thing. It was like $1 a bag. All that fake Motto meal, oatmeal, all that stuff. When you're on food stamps, you get all that stuff free. Run it up. I growing up, they used to buy food stamps. Hey, how much you doing the food stamps? Food stamps used to go, you get $200 of food stamps for $100. So if you give somebody $100, you get $200 worth of food stamps. Now, I've never participated in this. Nobody in my family has ever participated in nothing like this. I just heard through the grapevine. We out here thugging, selling food stamps, people selling their kids on people's taxes. Hey, so let me have 3 women who have 8 kids. They can't count all of them sometimes, or they count out, they don't get no additional money. So they sell their kids on other people's tax return. So somebody will pay to get their kids on the tax return so they can get some money back. People selling their own kids info on the tax return. So Mike Epps is on to something. I wish people will know that it's funny and it's a joke, but I think people need to really recognize that actually it's killing us. Actually, we shouldn't be advocating for people to be on SNAP. We should be advocating for people to get out there and go get a job. Anyway, I love you guys. I'm out of here.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American.